Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
The state of Texas versus Jordan Potts. This is the probable cause affidavit. I, your affiant LG Lang, am a certified peace officer in the state of Texas, employed with the Houston Police Department. I do solemnly swear that I have a reason to believe and do believe that Jordan Potts, a black male, 11/22/1994, hereafter styled as defendant, committed the felony offense of murder in Harris County, Texas, on or about July 25th, 2021. My belief is based upon the following facts. On August 13, 2021, I and my partner, Sergeant B.A. Roberts, were assigned this investigation into the disappearance of Shawtyeria Waites, hereafter styled as complainant, and to assist Detective Steigerwald, who was assigned to the missing persons unit. I learned that this investigation was being documented in HPD incident number 1010442-21, and the original report was taken by Officer H.B. Roberts on July 27, 2021, when Kemp reported her friend, Miss Waites, missing. I learned from the report that Miss Kemp dropped off complainant at the Villages of Meyerland Apartments located at 8950 Chimney Rock Road, Houston, Harris County, Texas at approximately 8 p.m. on July 25th, 2021. Ms. Kemp was asked by complainant to remain in the parking lot and she would be right back. She said complainant got out of her vehicle with her cell phone and walked off into the apartment complex. Ms. Kemp said she waited for over an hour and then she tried to call the complainant, but the phone call went straight to voicemail and was not accepting messages. She told Officer Roberts that she was worried for her safety. I learned while reviewing the offense report that Detective Steigerwald spoke to Mrs. Taylor on July 29, 2021. During the phone call, Ms. Taylor informed Detective Steigerwald that she was the complainant's cousin. Ms. Taylor said that the complainant was at the apartment complex to meet a John because she was working as an escort. Detective Steigerwald again spoke with Ms. Kemp on August 3rd, 2021, and during this conversation, Ms. Kemp told Detective Steigerwald that the complainant had spent too much money at Walgreens on July 25th, 2021, and wanted to find a John and bust a play so that she could make some money for the night. While Ms. Kemp was driving complainant to 8950 Chimney Rock Road, complainant was on FaceTime with an unknown black male who she was planning to meet. Ms. Kemp said she did not recognize the male who complainant was talking to on the phone. On August 13, 2021, I met with Detective J. George, who was assigned to HPD Vice Division and has training and experience in human trafficking. And Vice Investigations Detective George used the website that scrapes illicit prostitution advertisements for a match. Detective George was able to locate multiple advertisements made by the complainant on multiple websites. The most recent advertisement was posted on the side of Bedpage, with the most recent posting on July 22nd, 2021, 3 days before her disappearance. Based upon Detective George's research, I noted that complainant had made over 180 advertisement postings between the dates of March 19, 2021 and July 22nd, 2021 on multiple different sites. However, no known posts have been made since July 22nd, 2021. On August 13, 2021, I learned from Detective Steigerwald that the Village of Meyerland apartment complex located at 8950 Chimney Rock Road contracts the security footage with stealth monitoring. I contacted Liz, who is employed as an incident management and video review manager with stealth monitoring. I requested video surveillance from 8950 Chimney Rock Road, specifically near building for July 25th, 2021, between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. I observed that this particular camera is positioned in such a way that it captures vehicular and pedestrian traffic in the apartment complex. I began to review the footage and observed the following from 7/25/2021. Approximately 7:52 p.m., Miss Waites arrives with her friend, the reportee, and exits her friend's black Kia sedan, wearing a pink dress and holding her cell phone. Miss Waites briefly walks out of camera view, but appears to be looking down at her cell phone as she is walking. Approximately 7:43 p.m., Miss Waites comes back into camera view and appears to have her cell phone up to her left ear and is walking north through the parking lot. Ms. Waites then walks east toward a covered parking area and apartment units and goes out of camera view. Approximately 7:55 p.m., Ms. Waites comes back into the parking lot and appears to be holding her phone in her left hand. She begins walking north through the parking lot, walking parallel to the vehicles parked on the east side of the parking lot. She continues walking parallel to the vehicle until she makes an east turn and goes under the carport. This is the last known video image of Ms. Waites on 7/25/2021 at 8950 Chimney Rock Road. Approximately 8:30 p.m., a silver sedan comes into camera view driving south through the parking lot. The vehicle stops and backs up into a parking spot near where Ms. Waites was last seen on camera. Approximately 8:37 p.m., the same silver sedan that had backed in pulls out and turns east through the parking lot and goes out of camera view. Approximately 9:05 p.m., the same silver sedan returns to the apartment complex and parks in its assigned parking spot on the north side of building. On August 13, 2021, when I returned to HPD headquarters, I used HPD Records Management System RMS to query calls for service CFS on Chimney Rock Road for July 25, 2021. When I conducted this query, I found CFS 100268721, which was called into HPD 911 on July 25th, 2021 at 8:46 p.m. by Mr. Rainwater. Mr. Rainwater reported a disturbance, 8950 Chimney Rock Road, number. The details of the CFS are as follows. The following is a bit hard to understand, and so when I read it back to you, it might not all make sense, but it says states F is screaming at the loc and trying to get out of the door. M neighbor Jordan, race M30 YOA/med/hit/med build call, knocked on the door and no one answered. NOJ/nod. Mr. Rainwater then called back to 911 at 8:49 p.m. and stated the following. RC male suspect was seen driving a silver sedan. Officer T.W. Simpson and Officer K. Acevedo are dispatched to the CFS and arrived at 8950 Chimney Rock Road at 9:31 p.m. and 9:48 p.m. respectively. I then reviewed the body-worn camera BWC footage from Officer Simpson and Officer Acevedo. Both officers spoke with Mr. Rainwater and the occupant of apartment. The male was identified as Jordan Potts, black male, 11/22/1994. During the interaction with the officers, both Mr. Rainwater and Mr. Potts downplayed the encounter as loud video game playing. While watching the body-worn camera, I observed a female who I believe to be Miss Kemp walk in front of the officers and yell, "Shawtyeria." She briefly speaks to officers and tells them that she is looking for her friend. The officers cleared the event information and no other police action was taken. Oh, man. On August 13, 2021, Sergeant Roberts and I contacted the 911 caller, Mr. Rainwater, to get a statement from him, and the following is a synopsis of his statement. Mr. Rainwater said that he normally hears noises coming from apartment, which is directly below his apartment unit. He said typically the male who he knows as Jordan is in the apartment playing video games and talking with other players on the headset. But on July 25th, 2021, this was a completely different sound and nothing he had ever heard before. Mr. Rainwater stated that on this particular night, on July 25th, 2021, he said it sounded like a girl was screaming in the apartment and was not the normal noises coming from the apartment. Mr. Rainwater said he walked downstairs, and as he was walking downstairs, the door to the apartment unit opened up slightly and then closed quickly, which he found strange. Mr. Rainwater said he walked over and knocked on the door but did not get a response. But eventually the noise inside the apartment subsided. He said he found it weird, and so he decided to call 911. Mr. Rainwater said after he had finished making the 911 call, he again came downstairs and he observed that Jordan had moved his silver sedan and backed it into a parking spot close to unit, which Mr. Rainwater estimated to be 10 to 15 feet away from the front door of apartment. Mr. Rainwater stated that at this time he observed the trunk of the silver sedan to be open. Mr. Rainwater stated that the parking spot that the vehicle was backed into was his assigned parking spot. He said he had never seen Jordan park in his parking spot previously. Mr. Rainwater said that Jordan returned to his vehicle and drove out of the complex for a few minutes and then returned and remained in his apartment unit. Police arrived. On August 14, 2021, I learned from Detective Steigerwald that he spoke with management at the Village of Meyerland Apartments and confirmed that Jordan Potts was the leaseholder of Unit at 8950 Chimney Rock Road and was listed as the only occupant of the apartment unit. On August 16, 2021, Sergeant Roberts and I went to Nob Hill Apartments located at 5410 North Braeswoods Boulevard, Houston, Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival at Nob Hill, we spoke with the property manager, Miss Morphin, told us that 5400 Braes Valley Drive 51 was previously leased by KH until March 24, 2021. When the occupants of 5400 Bravesley Drive 51 moved out, they provided two forwarding addresses, one of which was noted as Jordan, forwarding address 8950 Chimney Rock Apartment. On August 17, 2021, I was conducting additional research on Jordan Potts and used the HPD gang tracker system. I have used this system on numerous occasions and know that it is a credible and reliable source of information. Using Gang Tracker, I queried Jordan Potts and located HPD incident number 817325-20, which was written by HPD Officer Housey on June 21st, 2020. I began to review the report and found that MC reported that she was a prostitute and was working on Bissonnet Street when she was approached by a male driving a silver car who identified himself as quote-unquote Jonathan. MC said Jonathan asked her to come back to his apartment and ordered her an Uber to transport her from Bissonnet Street to his apartment located at 5400 Braes Valley Drive number 51, Houston, Harris County, Texas. MC said that upon arrival at Jonathan's apartment, he ordered her to be quiet because his grandmother was in the apartment. MC said that she and Jonathan went into his bedroom and he grabbed her by the neck, threw her down on the bed. MC said Jonathan pulled out a gun from under his sheets and put it to her head and stated, "You are my hoe now." MC said that Jonathan demanded oral sex while the gun was pointed at her head. She said Jonathan then got on top of her and began to have sex with her while still pointing the gun at her head. MC said that before she left Jonathan's apartment, he made her delete everything out of her cell phone but kept her bra. MC described Jonathan as a light-skinned black male who drove a silver car. While reviewing the incident number 817325-20, I learned that HPD Officer Fredrickson conducted research on the address of 5400 Braes Valley Drive number 51 and noted that a male by the name of Jordan Potts with Oregon driver's license number 3215582 was associated with this apartment at Braes Valley Drive. Additionally, Officer Fredrickson followed that Jordan Potts was also associated with a gray Hyundai Sonata bearing Texas license plates MHT 0185. On August 19, 2021, I prepared a search warrant for the defendant's apartment unit, which is located at 8950 Chimney Rock Road, Houston, Harris County, Texas. I presented this warrant to the Harris County District Court Judge D. Lacayo, who signed the warrant. On August 20th, 2021, members of the Houston Police Department SWAT unit executed a search warrant at the 8950 Chimney Rock Road. The apartment was processed by the Houston Forensic Science Center, CSU, personnel. During the search, Sergeant Roberts located an Apple iPhone SE model located on the couch in the living room unit. Sergeant Roberts used his department-issued cell phone to call defendant known's cell phone number. Sergeant Roberts then observed the cell phone on the living room couch ringing. Prior to leaving the apartment, I spoke to defendant who requested to get a phone number from his Apple iPhone SE. While Sergeant Roberts was holding the iPhone, defendant provided him with the passcode, and we were successfully able to open the phone so that he could retrieve the phone number. During this investigation, Sergeant Roberts and I requested HPD officers with vice and narcotics to conduct surveillance on defendant Hyundai sedan. Those officers told Sergeant Roberts and I that for the days defendant was under surveillance, they observed defendant operating vehicle to and from the apartment. They also told us that he is the sole occupant of the vehicle and often takes it to get food or to go to work. Sergeant Roberts and I obtained a search warrant for the defendant motor vehicle that was signed August 19, 2021 by District Court Judge Lacayo. Sergeant Roberts and I then executed the warrant and seized defendant vehicle. During the processing of defendant vehicle, my partner and I observed a shovel and a gas can in the trunk of the car. Additionally, CSUT Slovaksek pointed out to Sergeant Roberts and I that she used a Blue Star Regent, a chemical compound that lights up when it comes in contact with blood, and we observed the trunk carpet light up, indicating it was positive for blood. Upon lifting the carpet from the trunk, we also observed what appeared to be blood on the bottom of the trunk, along with some blood on the lip of the trunk. These findings are consistent with a bloody body being placed into the trunk and coming in contact with the lip of the trunk and then laying on the floor of the trunk for a period of time. I spoke with Officer Harris, who is assigned to HPD Command Center. Officer Harris advised me that defendant is currently employed by IKEA per Texas Workforce Commission. Sergeant Roberts and I traveled to IKEA, located at 7810 Katy Freeway, Houston, Harris County, Texas, and met with the store manager. The store manager confirmed that defendant is currently employed with IKEA and works the night shift. I learned from the store manager that the defendant was scheduled to work July 26, 2021 from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. However, the store manager learned from surveillance video and time cards at IKEA that defendant clocked into work at 2:13 a.m. and then left work at approximately 2:28 a.m. The store manager learned that defendant was sent home because he had injuries to his right eye and was unable to perform his job safely. Sergeant Roberts and I reviewed surveillance footage from IKEA from July 26, 2021, which showed the injury to defendant's right eye. We also reviewed the surveillance footage from July 25, 2021, which showed no injury to defendant's eye. On August 23, 2021, I drafted a search warrant for a defendant called Detail Records, CDR, for his phone number. I presented this probable cause to Harris County District Judge A. Anastasio, who signed the warrant. I sent a signed copy of the search warrant to Detective C. Starks with HPD CID, who then served the warrant to the cell phone provider Sprint. On August 26, 2021, when I received the records, I sent the cell phone records from Sprint to FBI Special Agent B. Shaw, who began his own analysis on the records. On August 27, 2021, Sergeant Roberts and I met with Special Agent Shaw and FBI Special Agent K. Merritt to review S.A. Shaw's findings. During his analysis, he found that defendant phone was consistently traveling west on Katy Freeway from 3:09 a.m. to 3:38 a.m. However, between 3:38 a.m. and 3:40 a.m., defendant's phone was stopped at an approximately the 38410 block of Katy Freeway, Brookshire, Waller County, Texas. On the afternoon of August 27, 2021, S.A. Shaw, S.A. Merritt, Sergeant Roberts, and myself departed HPD headquarters to investigate the location where defendant phone stopped. S.A. Shaw and S.A. Merritt arrived at the location before us at approximately 12:59 p.m. I received a phone call from S.A. Merritt indicating that they had found human remains along westbound Service Road in the 38400 block of Katy Freeway, Brookshire, Texas. Sergeant Roberts and I arrived shortly after, and we all secured the scene. S.A. Merritt contacted the FBI Evidence Response Team ERT, who arrived on scene to begin processing the scene. During the recovery of the human remains, FBI Special Agent J. Poteet recovered several distinguishable artificial fingernails near the remains. Specifically, one pink artificial fingernail with rhinestones affixed, one white/gold fingernail, and one pink/white fingernail with gold flakes. Additionally, I observed that some of the remains were covered by a pink piece of clothing that appeared to be the same style and coloring as the dress complainant was last seen wearing on video surveillance on July 25th, 2021. Also recovered near the remains was a black artificial hairpiece, which was also consistent with the type of hair complainant was last seen with on video surveillance. Waller County PCT for Justice of the Peace Judge T. Krennick arrived at the scene and Brookshire to conduct his inquest and ordered an autopsy to be performed. Schmidt Funeral Home arrived to the scene and transported the remains to the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. On August 27, 2021, I reviewed a laboratory report from Fatima Torres Perez, a forensic analyst with the Houston Forensic Science Center, regarding evidentiary swabs that were collected from defendant vehicle. I learned that the swabs were taken from the passenger side of the trunk carpet and passenger side of the trunk spare tire well were analyzed and the presence of human blood was detected. On August 28, 2021, I spoke to Ms. Kemp again via phone and asked her to describe the type and coloring of the artificial fingernails complainant had on before her disappearance on July 25th, 2021. Ms. Kemp informed me that she had a photograph of complainant showing the artificial fingernails and indicated that the photograph was taken on July 24th, 2021. Ms. Kemp sent me the photograph and Sergeant Roberts and I compared the artificial fingernails and found them to be consistent in coloring and styling as the ones found near the remains in Brookshire, Texas.